Ivar's Acres of Clams offers a 5-piece fish and chips, but this 3-piece fish basket is what all these people have traveled 30 minutes to Puyallup High School for as the defending state champion Lady Tides take on the crosstown rival Peninsula Seahawks in a series tiebreaker that will send the winner to the West Central District Championship. Good evening, everybody. I'm Chance Busey alongside Kelly Busey, bringing you tonight's coverage of Fish Basket Round 3. The defending state champion Lady Tides come into tonight's game with a bit of a chip on their shoulder, as the last time these two teams matched up, Peninsula won the conference championship by 2 points. We sat down with head coach of the Lady Tides, Megan Murray, as well as sophomore Megan Edwards and senior captain Brenna Maxwell. Here's what they had to say before tonight's game.
Obviously, we know it's going to be a battle for sure. Making a couple different adjustments on our end, both offensively and defensively. We hope we'll make a difference on certain possessions, but we're going to battle it out. So it's going to be fun.
Already punching your ticket to the state tournament, but it's a rivalry game. Is that all you need to fire the girls up?
Oh, probably, yes. I mean, they're super stoked and excited, and, I don't think us, just because we've punched our ticket to state, doesn't settle us at all. I mean, a game's a game to these girls, and, they want to continue to win and get into the championship game for district. So, obviously, it's more heightened to them because it is Peninsula, so they're pumped up. They're excited about it.
Bigger gymnasium. Puyallup holds about 3,000 people. Gig Harbor's gym not even holding 2,000, but standing room only the last 2 times both of you guys have squared off. Is this going to be a good kind of test for the younger players on the roster? Do you expect to kind of rotate them in just to get the experience heading into potentially the Tacoma Dome?
Well, I talk to them regardless of play time. They've got to soak the experience up either way, whether, they're learning from the bench or learning from court time. In postseason, I don't go very deep into my roster, and the girls that have come off don't play tons of minutes, but they're significant minutes and helpful, and I very detailed about what I specifically ask them that I need them to do, and they do a pretty good job of that. So bigger stage, yeah, it'd be great. I mean, hopefully we have a following like we had the last 2 games, and it's crowded in there. It's just always a fun environment, so we're looking forward to it. It'll be fun.
Head coach of the Lady Tides, Megan Murray, thanks for sitting down with us pregame on KGHP. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks, Chance. Go Tides.
And now we sit down with sophomore point guard Megan Edwards. Megan, still second year in the program, but 5th time now playing Peninsula. Rivalry, I'm sure, is deep with you already. What's it mean to play Peninsula for a 3rd time this year?
I think that we just have a lot of energy just bottled up with us, and I think we're ready, and we're not going to let the pressure get to us, and we're just going to play our game because it's just another game in the end. So I think we're going to do good.
So is that kind of the same mentality, even though it's semifinals of the district tournament, bigger stage, bigger gym, can hold a lot more people, it's still just another game?
Yeah, I think it's just the key is just not to overthink it and understand it's a basketball game, and it just, as long as you just play to the level you can play at, it's just a game. It doesn't matter who's watching, it's just a game.
And lastly, what are you personally focused on tonight? What are you going to be focused on throughout this whole rivalry?
I just need to play my game and just stick to myself and not understand my capabilities, and I just have to know when to pass the ball and how to handle the pressure and just be confident within myself and my teammates.
Sophomore point guard Megan Edwards, thanks for sitting down with us on KGHP FM. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
Now we turn to senior captain Brenna Maxwell. Brenna, playing Peninsula a 3rd time this season.
Yes.
A little bit of chip on your shoulder after last game.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts coming into this one?
Well, our whole team glad we get to play them at least one more time because last game was not our best game, and we have more stuff to prove, and our goal is to come out the better team tonight and just end on a high note against them.
Now, you've come out in public saying #FishBasket is the correct name. What do you think about the hashtag 3-piece fish basket?
And I think that's pretty good. I think if you add any more, I think it's a little bit much. But I think that's the perfect amount to just that hashtag's pretty good.
Just 3 pieces. That'll do it.
I'll take that one.
All right, then turning back to basketball, what are you going to be focused on tonight?
Our whole team is just focused on our defense. I feel like last game our defense kind of fell apart there in the second half, and we're just going to be focusing on their shooters and not letting them penetrate.
Senior captain Brenna Maxwell of the Gig Harbor Lady Tides, thanks for sitting down with us pregame. Best of luck tonight.
Thanks for having me, Chance.
Gig Harbor beat Hudson's Bay on Wednesday to get to this point where Brenna Maxwell scored 48 points, breaking the Tide's old single-game scoring record for the 6th time this season. The South Sound Conference champion Peninsula Seahawks are coming off an exciting win over Wilson, which punched their ticket back to state for the 2nd year in a row. We sat down with the head coach of the Lady Seahawks, Mike Schick, as well as sophomore guard Piper Bauer before tonight's game. Here's what they had to say.
Plan tonight is to go out and have a lot of fun. You know, both these teams know each other really well. 3rd time playing this year. We know the ins and outs, everything like that. It's going to come down to a lot of little things. So we're excited, trying to keep things rolling, keep the momentum going. It's going to be big for RPI. Both teams have already punched tickets to state. So it doesn't mean we just stop here and we're content with it. We want to continue winning games at district championships, our number 2 goal for the year. So we see that in our sights, and we want to make sure we get there.
Last time these two teams matched up, Peninsula coming away with the conference championship, finally beating Gig Harbor, the seniors' first win in the 4 years that they've been here. I'm sure there's no need for you to rile up the team. They're already riled up. How has the team kind of been reacting? Not a whole lot of turnaround with the delay in the snow schedule, but from Wednesday night to now Friday night, what's the team been kind of feeling? And have you had to rein them in a little bit, or what's the vibe?
They're excited, talking to them for the first time on a Wednesday before the Wilson game. A lot of them hadn't been out of the house since Friday when we practiced. A lot of them were snowed in and couldn't get out with vehicles and stuff. So they were kind of like caged animals. And when we let them free on Wednesday, it looked tough. It was very difficult to watch. We looked like a bunch of middle schoolers or grade schoolers out there, and we just didn't look real sharp. So hopefully tonight we'll look much sharper. We had a great day of practice yesterday and stuff like that. Went over a lot of things, and we'll be ready to play tonight.
And tonight, playing at Puyallup High School, your alma mater, any fond memories of coming back? I'm sure a lot of friends and family are going to come out for you. What's the plan for you?
Yeah, I'll take it all in stride. It's a great place. I had a great, high school career there and stuff. Hopefully a lot of friends and family will be in town and be able to make it down there. I'm expecting a packed gym. It's always such a great atmosphere down there. Puyallup is a great place, great high school. Very fortunate to go back there now and sit on the bench and lead these Peninsula girls, hopefully to a good win tonight.
And speaking of your career at Puyallup, lots of really big games, dominant while you were there at least. Do you expect the same kind of energized atmosphere, even though both teams are traveling fan bases? And do you expect a full turnout in the gym that seats almost about 3,000 or so?
Without a doubt. Both these schools will be there, and they always show up and show out. Playing the later game will help too, because I'm sure the Prairie and Bethel crowds are going to show up and be there as well and stick around and watch. It should be great basketball, not only our game but the game before tonight as well. So excited. It should be a great night. I'm proud of where girls basketball has come in the last 5-10 years as well, where people are showing up, they're supportive and stuff like that. Is fantastic. So it makes me feel very proud that these girls are getting those opportunities, not just our team but Gig Harbor, everything they've done, Prairie putting them on the map, and then all the success they've had in Bethel as well. This district having the last 4 teams in the final and the semis tonight, being 4 of the top 11 in the state, it makes it very, very good for our district, and it just makes it exciting basketball games as well.
Well, that answered my next question. I was going to ask about the support since you've been here. I'm very glad you're here. Really helped energize and re-spark the atmosphere here with girls basketball. Head coach Mike Schick of the Peninsula Seahawks, thanks for sitting down with us, and best of luck tonight.
Thank you. Go Hawks.
And now we sit down with sophomore sensation Piper Bauer for the Peninsula Seahawks. And Piper, third time playing rival Gig Harbor. As a sophomore, what has this rivalry kind of turned in for you personally?
Well, my freshman year, the first time we played them, I didn't really realize what the game was until we lost. And then the next 3 games, I realized that it was a big deal. And then we won the last game, and it was awesome.
Last time you guys faced up, you guys won the conference championship against them at your own court, standing room only. I'm assuming you're expecting a big turnout tonight. How are you staying focused with all the hype surrounding this game?
It's just another game. We just got to win it to move on. Just another day, another game.
And then lastly, what are you going to be focused on personally throughout the game?
Just doing whatever I can to help the team win. That's really it.
Sophomore guard for the Peninsula Seahawks, Piper Bauer, thanks very much for sitting down with us pregame at KGHP. Best of luck tonight.
Thank you.
The Lady Seahawks look to get back to the Tacoma Dome for the first time in this millennium, and with a win tonight would definitely help their case to finish in the top 8 teams in the RPI, which would guarantee them a spot at the Woodshed. We're 3.5 minutes away from tip-off here at Puyallup High School. Coming up, we'll have starting lineups as well as keys to the third installment of the Fish Basket. You're listening to Playoff Girls Basketball on KGHP FM. Good evening and welcome back to Puyallup High School for tonight's semifinal West Central District Tournament Fish Basket matchup. That's right, it's Fish Basket Round 3, Gig Harbor, Peninsula. Squaring up, winner plays Bethel in the West Central District Championship, while the loser has to face the RPI-ranked number 1 Prairie. Also tomorrow, both of those games will get to you on KGHP FM. But for now, we focus on tonight. The hashtag 3-piece fish basket. If you're following on Twitter, go ahead and use that hashtag fish basket. Let us know where you're listening from, who you're listening for, and what you think tonight's score is going to be. Again, good evening, everybody. I'm Chance Busey, joined by Kelly Busey. And Kelly, what do you think we can expect tonight?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Small Beach Handball playing for the 3rd game this afternoon in our West Central District Tournament. This is a semi-final game where the winner will play here tomorrow afternoon.
Not much else you could really ask for tonight. First game separated by 2 points, or no, 1 point. It was a 1-point game the first time these two teams matched up back on January 9th. And then the end of January, the conference championship game decided by 2 points. That'll be an interesting bit of trivia to know. Just putting that out there in case you like some Lunchbox Laboratory gift cards.
Now for the starting lineups. First of all, for Gig Harbor, that is our position, a 5'11" junior, number 2, Tate Gonzalez.
Unbelievable. And a packed house tonight, at least in the lower bowl here at Puyallup High School, the other PHS in the South Sound area. And still some late stragglers coming in. Good to see on a Friday night. Good for the girls basketball across the Peninsula School District. Both of these teams really reviving the atmosphere here. As we look at starting lineups, the Tides currently coming out on the court. It's going to be the usual suspects. A 5'11" junior, number 2, Tate McReynolds. A 5'3" sophomore, number 14, Megan Edwards. A 5'2" senior co-captain, number 23, Sydney Langworthy. A 6'1" senior, another co-captain, number 30, Grace Neal. And, of course, the 6-foot senior captain, number 10, Brenna Maxwell. For the Seahawks, it's going to be, again, the usual suspects. Currently being announced here. Peninsula students showing up, making a lot of noise here already. They're raring to go here as we have a tiebreaker in the fish basket. But your starting lineups for the Seahawks, it's going to be number 2, a 5'8" sophomore, Lindsay Lavrovich. Number 13, a 5'6" senior, Esther Papulus. Number 21, a 5'6" sophomore, Piper Bauer, who you heard from pregame. She's in those bright neon tennis ball shoes, as well as Labrovich. They kind of have matching shoes tonight. And rounding out the order for the Hawks, number 24, a 6'1" senior, Taryn Richter. And, of course, the 6' senior captain, number 35, Belle Frazier.
Officials for tonight's contest, Mr. John Dugas, Mr. Kevin Watt, and Mr. Daryl Derringer. Once again, Big Brother and Peninsula semifinal West Central District game. Winner moves on to Pro Championship game against.
In the circle for the Seahawks, it's going to be Lindsay Labrovich with those bright yellow shoes. And for the Tides, Brenna Maxwell. Tides in all navy tonight. Navy shorts, navy shirts, white letters, Columbia blue trim. Seahawks in all white. They'll be going right to left, but the Tides control it. They'll be going left to right to open things up. Brenna Maxwell takes it inside the perimeter, gives it over to Tate McReynolds. Back over to Maxwell. Quick three attempt is good. 10 seconds gone. 3 points on the board for Gig Harbor. Brenna Maxwell flexing here early as Papulus takes it up for the Seahawks. Picks up her dribble, gives it into Taryn Richter at the free throw line. Back out to Belle Frazier. She's guarded by Brenna Maxwell. Gives it out for a three attempt from Piper Bauer. No good. Rebound Maxwell up the court to Sydney Langworthy. She gives it back up top to Maxwell, who's double teamed. Gets it over to a wide open Tate McReynolds around to the far corner to Megan Edwards. Three attempt, no good. Poked out of bounds. Last touch by Grace Neal underneath. It'll be Peninsula Seahawk basketball. 39 seconds gone here in the opening quarter. Score 3-0 early. Gig Harbor leads. Labrovich picks up her dribble at the perimeter, met by Sydney Langworthy. Gives it over to Papulus, who drives baseline. Lots of contact. A shot on the floor. They're going to say a foul on the floor, and it'll be Peninsula basketball under the baseline. Looks like they're going to call Grace Neal with a foul early. That's going to be an interesting tally to keep an eye on. As the ball gets inbounded to Belle Frazier, Euro steps by Sydney Langworthy and puts it up and in for 2 points. Full court press from the Hawks. They trail one. They're on defense. Langworthy gives it over to Megan Edwards, works it up top, picks up her dribble, gets double teamed, dishes it out to Maxwell on the near side. Maxwell turns around, finds Grace Neal, drives inside, gets stripped away by Labrovich, but goes out of bounds. Last touch by the Hawks. It'll be Gig Harbor basketball under their own net. 13 on the shot clock. Inbound goes to Grace Neal, slips a little bit, gets by Taryn Richter, puts up his shot, and a foul from Taryn Richter. Grace Neal will go to the line for Gig Harbor, looking to extend this 3-2 lead with 6:44 left in the first quarter. Neal taking her time at the line and puts it up and in. 4-2 the score. Again, a good showing from both student sections, but it looks like Peninsula has about twice as many students here, and they're loud, let me tell you. And Neal sinks the second one. 5-2 the score. Peninsula trails. They have the ball. Papulus jogging it across the purple Viking here at Puyallup High School. Over to the near side to Bauer. Works in, backs out. Around the perimeter, gives it up top to Frazier, met by Maxwell. Over to the far side to Papulus, gets by McReynolds, dishes it back out to Frazier. She steps inside the perimeter, puts it up, bounces off the front of the rim, but finds the bottom of the net. And Megan Edwards weaves past and through the full court press from Peninsula. Gives it over to McReynolds to the far side. She's met by Belle Frazier. Hawks in a zone defense as Edwards dishes it into Grace Neal, stolen away by Lindsay Labrovich. She's going all the way and decides to back it out to the far corner over to Belle Frazier. Puts up a deep three over Maxwell. No good. Pulled down by McReynolds for Gig Harbor. Edwards jogs it up and races past Labrovich, but has it poked away, and an immediate foul on the Tides. Looks like that foul is going to be on Megan Edwards, the sophomore. And it'll be Peninsula basketball. 5-4 the score. Gig Harbor with the lead. Peninsula with the basketball. Just under 6 minutes gone, or 6 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Lavrovich takes it up for the Hawks, met by Langworthy. Drives to the near side. Over to Bauer, pulls up for three off the front of the rim, pulled down by Grace Neal. Gives it over to Maxwell, looks to the bench, gets a call from Megan Murray, and threads it to Megan Edwards up top, works it inside, dishes it out to Langworthy on the near side, pulls up for three, and off the rim and pulled down by Tate McReynolds. Gets the offensive board, gives it over to Brenna Maxwell, drives to the paint, puts it up, no good, swatted back into her hand. She gives it over to Megan Edwards, who pulls up, foot on the line from the perimeter, no good. Pulled down by Lindsay Lavrovich. We're going the other way. Peninsula with it as Lavrovich dishes it out to the near corner to Esther Papulus. And she works the ball up top, gets a screen, drives right, kicks it out to Taryn Richter. Fadeaway jumper, gets it to fall. Ball up now to Tate McReynolds, who gives it up to Brenna Maxwell. Under 5 minutes to go here in the opening quarter. Tides now trail one. And Maxwell fighting through three Peninsula defenders, puts up a shot but gets fouled. And she'll go to the line to shoot two. 6-5 to score. Brenna Maxwell with an opportunity to tie it with his first free throw. 4:39 to go here in the opening quarter. First shot up and good. We're tied at 6. Maxwell, second shot up and good. 7-6 the score. Gig Harbor now leads as Papulus takes it up for the Hawks. Gets a call from Mike Schick over at the bench. And met by Tate McReynolds. Dishes it into Taryn Richter. And a travel. Good defensive pressure from Grace Neal.
Checking in for the Seahawks, number 23, Karen McKinney.
Richter taking a seat. She's replaced by number 23, Karen McKinney. Inbound goes to Sydney Langworthy for Gig Harbor. She's met by Piper Bauer in the backcourt. Gives it over to Maxwell, back over to Langworthy, takes across half court. Tight pressure from Bauer as Langworthy gets a screen from Grace Neal and takes it in the paint herself. 9-6 the score. Gig Harbor up 3, and they're on defense. Papulus weaves her way through a couple Tides defenders, loses the handle on it, and goes into the hands of Brenna Maxwell, who takes it up for the Tides. And a reach-in foul on Papulus up top. It'll be Gig Harbor basketball. Third team foul for the Seahawks. Esther Papulus's first personal. Substitutions now as Abby Emery checks in for Grace Neal for the Tides. And Esther Papulus takes a seat for the Seahawks. She's replaced by Renee Doss. McReynolds inbounds to Brenna Maxwell. She's at the baseline. Now the near corner pulls up for three. No good. Rebound Doss. We're going the other way quickly. Doss gives it over to Lavrovich. And gets swatted from behind by Maxwell. She's fired up. Fish basket basketball at its finest. Inbound for the Hawks goes to Belle Frazier. She works around. Brenna Maxwell spins, finds some space, and puts it up and in with the left hand. Ball now up to Langworthy. Feeds it over to Tate McReynolds with some space. Pump fake, gets Karen McKinney to bite, but blocked by Belle Frazier from behind. We're going the other way. Belle Frazier looking up court, finds Lindsay Lavrovich. She drives on Langworthy, picks up her dribble, tries to get it back out to Frazier, but tipped up and stolen away by Maxwell. 3:20 to go here in the first quarter, 1-point game. Tides with the lead and the ball. Maxwell met by Doss at half court, crosses over, drives left, threads her way through a couple defenders. No shot, they're going to say it's going to be a travel. And lots of applause. I would say 3/4 of this crowd is Peninsula favored. As Lavrovich skips the ball up court, works to the far side over to Doss. Doss, pump fake, drives, shot no good, and a struggle for the ball. And a jump ball called, an aggressive jump ball at that. This is rivalry basketball.
Ladies and gentlemen, up in the second for the balcony, if you could please take a seat in the bleachers.
Doss listed at 5'4". She took on the 5'10" Abby Emery.
Please sit in the bleachers. Thank you.
And 3 attempt, no good from the corner, pulled down by Megan Edwards, who's somehow even shorter than Renee Doss, listed at 5'3". Tate McReynolds now with it, guarded by Piper Bauer up top. Picks up her dribble, finds Abby Emery on the near side, gives it over to Edwards in the near corner in front of the Peninsula bench. Back out up top to Tate McReynolds, drives left, over to the far side to Sydney Langworthy. 3 attempt, no good, and pulled down by the Hawks. Renee Doss pushing it up. And swatted away by Sydney Langworthy, goes out of bounds at the baseline. It'll be Peninsula basketball.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. That's great.
2:26 to go in the first quarter. Gig Harbor 9, Peninsula 8, as they inbound the ball up top to Lindsay Lovrovich. Lovrovich drives left, kicks it out to Bauer, and Bauer has it poked away by Megan Edwards, now into the hands of Brenna Maxwell. Maxwell met by Doss at the half-court line. Gives it over to Edwards, works around to the right, gives it up top now to Tate McReynolds. She drives, puts it up off the left hand, too strong. Rebound, Lindsay Lovrovich. Seahawks have it, they're going the other way. Lovrovich dishes it out to Piper Bauer on the near side for 3. Inbound pass deflected out of bounds. Seahawks came here to play. They now lead 11-9. Less than 2 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Substitution now. Piper Bauer taking a seat with much applause behind her. High fives all around from her teammates. Esther Papulus back on the court for the Hawks. McReynolds inbounds to Abby Emery. She gives it over to Brenna Maxwell. She calmly takes the ball up court. Over to the far side to McReynolds. McReynolds met by Papulus, now up top to Edwards. Edwards guarded by Lovrovich, works left, finds Maxwell on the far side. She pulls up, puts up a shot over Renee Doss off the front of the rim, pulled down by Papulus for the Seahawks. Papulus sprinting the ball up court past a couple of defenders. Over to Doss, foot on the line, airballs it. But deflected now into the hands of Belle Frazier. Her foot on the line, and she gets it for 2. 13-9 the score. Tides trailing. They have the ball. Up top now to Megan Edwards. She's met by Belle Frazier. Edwards floats it over to the far corner for Sydney Langworthy for 3. No good. There's Abby Emery with the offensive putback. Good. 2-point game. 1 minute to go here in the first quarter. 13-11. Belle Frazier and the Seahawks looking to extend this lead. Frazier guarded by Maxwell, gets a screen, drives left off of McKinney's screen. Shot no good, would have been 3, but pulled down by the Tides and Tate McReynolds, who's immediately backcourt, a little too much backcourt pressure from Kara McKinney, and that'll be the 3rd Seahawk foul.
Foul number 23, Kara McKinney, first personal, 15.
Correction, that's going to be the 5th Seahawk foul as Megan Edwards takes it up across the Purple Viking here at Puyallup High School. Over to Tate McReynolds, foot on the line from the far side, shot no good. Fighting for the rebound was Maxwell. Lindsay Lovrovich coming up with it. She pushes it up, gives it over to Renee Doss on the far side. She pushes away from Sydney Langworthy, puts up a shot, no good. Lots of contact on that rebound, no foul. As the Tides recollected, shot clock off, 16 to go here in the first quarter. Tides trailing by 2. Edwards drives in the paint herself, puts up a floater at the free throw line, gets her own rebound, tries to put it up again, no foul. Seahawks with an opportunity for a last shot. Bobbling the ball was Papulus, and now ball in the hands of Brenna Maxwell. She tries to put up a half-court shot. She gets it to go, but it was after the buzzer. Oh, my goodness. Oh. And after 1, Peninsula 13, Gig Harbor 11. You're listening to semifinal tournament basketball here on KGHP FM. What a shot. Man, that sucks that it was just too late.
First quarter timeout, second quarter starts out with Gig Harbor getting the ball. Seahawks are up 13-11.
And here we are back at Puyallup High School as Fish Basket round 3. Oh boy, if you're just joining us, you missed quite the third quarter. Peninsula leads, first quarter. We're in the second quarter now, 13-11. Peninsula leads, Gig Harbor has the basketball. 15 to shoot for Langworthy, gives it up to Maxwell. Maxwell drives left, loses the handle on it a little bit, dishes it over to Megan Edwards, gives it over to Grace Neal in the paint, but tying up with Lavrovich, it'll be a jump ball, possession arrow points to Peninsula. I think Dave might be the president of the Belle Fraser fan club. I don't know. There might be membership dues to that, too. And Papulus has it poked away by Maxwell, recontrols it, gives it over to Belle Fraser. That pass tipped and eventually got to Papulus, but her foot was on the line. It'll be Gig Harbor basketball. 7:21 left here in the first half. Gig Harbor trails by 2. It's 13-11. Edwards calls out a play for the Tides as she walks the ball over half court. Gives it over to Langworthy on the far side. Langworthy guarded by Doss. Spins around, gives it over to Grace Neal in the far corner. Neal picks up her dribble over to Langworthy in the corner for 3. Good! Finally gets one to go. 14-13. Tides now lead. Belle Fraser walks it up for the Hawks. Fraser guarded by Langworthy, takes it over to the far corner where Maxwell is. Picks up her dribble, gives it back out to Doss up top, over to Lavrovich. Now into the near corner for Papulus, trying to float it into McKinney. Who's out of bounds, last touch by Grace Neal. Peninsula will inbound it from the baseline with 10 seconds left on the shot clock. Piper Bauer checking in for the Hawks. She replaces the senior Papulus. 6:41 to go here in the first half. Peninsula with an opportunity to take the lead here as the inbound pass goes to Belle Fraser and gives it over to Doss. But a foul as Doss was driving inside, no shot. And after the foul, the shot clock resets. Peninsula will have it again at the baseline. Lavrovich inbounds to Doss, has some space beyond the arc, pulls up, airballs it, and bounces into the hands of Maxwell. Pushes it up quickly over to Edwards on the far side. Back up now to Maxwell. She drives left, finds Grace Neal in the corner, dishes it back over to Sydney Langworthy, drives baseline, gives it back over to Neal. And goes out of bounds, last touched by a Seahawk player as Lavrovich helps Grace Neal up. That's really what Fish Basket's all about. You know, rivalry game, but still you'll help the other team out. Megan Edwards takes a seat for the Tides. Running back on the court is McReynolds, who inbounds it to Abby Emery, who gets rejected. The hand of justice. We'll try it again. McReynolds to inbound, needs to get it in, and floats it up top just beyond the grasp of Lavrovich. And a foul on the shot as Brenna stepped just inside the perimeter. Shot no good, but she'll go to the line to shoot 2. A career 90% free throw shooter, Brenna Maxwell, looking to add on to this 1-point lead, and does. Score now 15-13. 6:15 left to go here in the first half. Again, winner of this game goes to the West Central District Championship against Bethel. Second shot up and good. 16-13 the score. Peninsula trailing, they have the ball. Mike Schick barking out a play from the bench as Piper Bauer takes it up for the Hawks. Shake and bake moves on Langworthy, but Langworthy sticking with her a little too much, and she'll get slammed with the foul.
Foul number 23, Sydney Langworthy with the first. Team sport. Out of bounds, Seahawks.
Couple Tides players fouling out in the last matchup back at Peninsula High School. That's the 4th team foul. First personal on Langworthy is Peninsula with an offensive possession over to Belle Fraser in the corner. No good. And pulled down by McReynolds for the Tides. McReynolds working around to the far side now. Picks up her dribble. Gives it over to Langworthy on the far side. Over to Brenna Maxwell now. She's guarded by Doss. Works right. Drives in the paint, loses the handle on it, kicks it back out to Grace Neal. Has a lot of space. She drives herself. Shot no good. Pulled down by Emery. Tides with a fresh shot clock. Brenna Maxwell steps right and buries the three right in front of Coach Schick and the Seahawks bench. 5:15 to go in the first half. Tides lead by 6. They're on defense. Piper Bauer setting up the Peninsula offense. Bauer directing traffic, gives it over to Doss. Back up top to Bauer, over to Karen McKinney on the far side, over to Frazier in the corner for 3. At first you don't succeed, try again. 3-point game, under 5 minutes to go in the second quarter. Maxwell crosses over on Doss, gives it over to Langworthy on the near side, dishes it into Grace Neal, puts up a shot over Karen McKinney, shot no good, and pulled down by Labrovich, who races the ball up the court. Labrovich working over to the near side, threads her way through a couple defenders, readjusts in the air. Good effort on the shot, but misses the rim entirely. And Sydney Langworthy jogs the ball up for the Tides. Works past a couple Peninsula players, puts it up, and almost gets it to fall, not quite. Pulled down by Belle Frazier and a reach-in foul from Maxwell. 5 team fouls now for the Tides. That'll be Maxwell's first.
Foul number 10, Brenna Maxwell. That's her first, team's fifth. Checking in first for the Tides, number 14, Megan Edwards.
Karen McKinney checking out, replaced by Taryn Richter for the Seahawks. Grace Neal stepping out for the Tides for a second. Megan Edwards back in for Gig Harbor. Piper Bauer walks the ball up court, 4:13 left in the second quarter. Into Belle Frazier, turnaround jumper, no good. Rebound, Brenna Maxwell. Maxwell fighting away up court. Gets by 3 Peninsula defenders, pull-up jumper, good. 5-point game, 21-16. Peninsula looking to cut into this tied lead. Belle Frazier over to the far or near side, back up top to Frazier. And Frazier spinning move, no good, doesn't even hit rim. And Tides pushing it now up to Megan Edwards. Edwards tries to feed it into Maxwell, loose ball, last touch by Maxwell. It'll be Peninsula ball. Ball up now to Labrovich for Peninsula. Gives it up top now to Piper Bauer. Pump fakes Langworthy, drives inside. Jumper from the free throw line, no good. Rebound Gig Harbor, that was Tate McReynolds. She hands the ball over to Maxwell, who throws it up to Megan Edwards with a little bit of space on the perimeter. Decides to hold up and dribbles the ball back up top on the arc. Dishes it into Tate McReynolds with some space, but loses the handle on it. And Taryn Richter falling on it and giving it over to Doss. Doss has it poked away by Maxwell, but right into the hands of Belle Frazier, and she'll jog it up for the Peninsula Seahawks as they set up the offense. Frazier drives right, draws a lot of contact, puts up a shot. We'll wait to see if that's a shooting foul. And it looks like it is. Foul going to be on Abby Emery, her first personal. 16 fouls apiece for both teams with just under 3 minutes to go here in the first half. Belle Frazier to the line to shoot 2. First shot up and no good. Score remains Gig Harbor 21, Peninsula 16. Esther Fabulous Papulous checking back in for the Hawks. She's replacing Piper Bauer. Frazier at the line for attempt number 2 here. Second shot up and good. 21-17, timeout Peninsula. 2:55 left to go here in the second quarter. And Kelly, what have we seen so far?
The Tides are up 4, 21-17. Once again, the winner of this game here will take on Bethel, who is a victor over Prairie earlier this season. That game will take place here at KGHP FM 4 o'clock tomorrow. The loser of this game will take on Prairie. That will be at Rogers.
You know, we saw a 6-point lead from the Tides back when it was 19-13. From my memory, that might be the biggest lead either team's had all year. I don't think either team's gotten a double-digit lead, but we'll see if that happens tonight in round 3 of the Fish Basket as we restart play. Tides with the ball. Tate McReynolds up top. Picks up her dribble, gives it over to Edwards on the near wing. Over to Emery with some space. Pulls up just inside the perimeter, in and out. Pulled down by Doss for the Seahawks. Doss met by Langworthy, gives it over to Frazier up top. She drives right, steps inside, and can't get the finish. An epic Euro step, but they're going to say it was off of a Tide player. And the Tide's parents erupting. And a correction now, it will be Gig Harbor basketball. Parents rejoicing. Maxwell inbounds to McReynolds in the backcourt. Just under 2.5 minutes left here in the first half. Edwards passes it up across the half-court line. McReynolds on the far side. Back up to Edwards. Into Brennan Maxwell inside the elbow of the free throw line. Turnaround jumper good. 23-17. Peninsula looking to cut into this deficit here as Papulus over to Lavrovich. Now up top. Back over to Papulus. Pulls up for three and banks it off the back of the iron. McReynolds passes up to Emery. Gives it over to Langworthy. Now up top to Edwards. He gives it over to Maxwell. She passes over to the far side to McReynolds, guarded by Papulus. McReynolds dribbles right, crosses over, drives left, and trying to find Abby Emery on the baseline. McReynolds claiming it was tipped, but the referee saying not so fast. It'll be Peninsula ball baseline as Esther Papulus checking out for Piper Bauer. 1:32 on the clock here in the first quarter. Peninsula looking to cut into this 3-point deficit. It's 23-20 as Doss takes it on the far side. Cross court now over to Bauer. Bauer guarded by Langworthy, now to the near side to Doss. She drives baseline, gets double teamed and intercepted by Tate McReynolds. Megan Edwards for the Tides, jogging the ball up court, met by Lavrovich. Over to Langworthy on the near side. Over to Maxwell in the corner. Back up to Langworthy. Dishes it into Tate McReynolds. Back over to Langworthy with some space beyond the arc. Off the front of the rim, racing to go save it from going out of bounds was Maxwell, and she does. Gets it over to Langworthy. Now up top to Tate McReynolds. Over to Maxwell. Has some space on the baseline. Good adjustment mid-shot, but no good. And she'll go to the free throw line to shoot 2. 7 team fouls now on Peninsula. That foul is going to be on number 23, Kara McKinney. Correction, that was Taryn Richter with the foul. Her second personal foul as Kara McKinney checks in for Taryn Richter. 50 seconds to go. First shot up and good from Maxwell. Second shot up and good as well. 25-20 the score. Lavrovich jogs it up with those neon yellow shoes. Gives it over to Bauer. Pulls up for three off the iron. Almost saved from going out of bounds by Doss, but she was on the line. It'll be Gig Harbor basketball. 41 seconds left in the half. Edwards takes it up. Double team to the backcourt. Races by Lavrovich. Gives it over to Sydney Langworthy. Now up top to Tate McReynolds. McReynolds hounded by Piper Bauer. Gets a little bit of space. Dishes it into Abby Emery. Back out to Maxwell. Turnaround three is good. 28-20. 20 seconds left. Belle Frazier jogs it up for the Peninsula Seahawks, looking to cut into this 8-point deficit. Frazier works left, picks up her dribble, gives it over to Bauer on the far side in front of the Gig Harbor students. Bauer hounded by Langworthy, gets some space, gets it out to Doss, pulls up for three, at the buzzer, gets it off the glass. Renee Doss cuts the deficit to 5 as both teams jog into the locker room. You are listening to Fish Basket Round 3 here in the semifinals of the West Central District Tournament. And we'll step aside for an underwriter break. You're listening to Playoff Basketball on KGHP FM. And welcome back to an ecstatic Puyallup High School as Renee Doss hit that buzzer beater 3 to cut the lead for the Tides down to 5. Your score at the half, Gig Harbor 28, Peninsula 23 in round 3 of the Fish Basket. Peninsula is the designated home team tonight, which pretty much suggests that we're going to roll with a Peninsula-themed halftime show. And who else but Belle Frazier would we decide to talk to about not just the rivalry, but the whole culture of girls basketball? We sat down with the senior captain. Here's what she had to say.
Over the last 4 years, this rivalry has just been really important to us. I mean, it just starts with Fishbowl even at the beginning of the year, leading up to our games. And I don't know, it's especially Brenna, being teammates with Brenna, it's like a big part of the year, so.
And coming out on top the last time, clinching the conference championship, huge deal. What was going through your head when the final buzzer rang?
I was kind of shook. Like, I had no idea how we won that game, and we were down the whole game until like 2 minutes or something. So it's kind of like a big turnaround from the time we played them before, so it was awesome.
So I don't want to get too far into hypotheticals, but you're already playing in the district tournament. There's a possibility you guys could match up again in the state tournament. What would that mean for not just this year, but for both programs and just the whole rivalry in general?
I think that would just continue to feed into the hunger both teams have. I mean, even coming into this game after the district championship, you know they're coming for us, and we have to hold our ground, so it's a big one.
Looking forward, what, outside of basketball even, what has the rivalry kind of meant for you? How have you grown through these tough situations, these pressure situations?
I mean, even just from the first game this year to the second time, I just felt a lot more calm and collected, and like the game was kind of in my hands, you know. So you just got to let the game come to you and not force anything and not get all jittery and panic. So.
And looking back now, kind of switching gears, these last couple of games have been standing room only, packed gyms. From 4 years ago, talk us through. Could you even imagine the importance and the significance of these matchups? Or what was it like 4 years ago compared to now?
Oh, 4 years ago was the ugliest thing you will ever watch. Like, we didn't play right after the boys or before the boys, but we were usually at our own school, so there wasn't normally a lot of people there. But it was probably a good thing, because we were getting blown out by 40 sometimes, and I mean, it was just embarrassing. I remember getting subbed out and just my coach being like, yeah, this is too embarrassing, you're just going to say it. And I was just like, okay. It wasn't Mike, so, but yeah.
But now kind of stepping up, taking leadership, helping this program really flourish with Coach Schick. Where do you see the program going? Even after you're gone, you're at Portland State, you're tearing it up over there. Where do you see this program heading?
Just up. It's just going to continue to improve as long as Coach Mike's here, you know. And I don't know, the crazy thing is just how far we've come even just the last 2 years. It's just crazy growth, so it's awesome to see.
And this game, I don't want to say it doesn't matter, because it always matters when you're playing the rival. But looking forward, how are you as a senior leader going to help focus the team going into the state tournament, and more so getting back to the Tacoma Dome for the first time in this millennium?
I mean, we just got to take it one game at a time, keep our head down, but it's really, I don't know, to me especially, this is my goal since freshman year. I mean, I've always wanted to play to that dome, and so I'm just trying to spread that goal among the team, and I know our seniors for sure want to, because, you know, it's our last year, and I think we want it more than anything that we've ever wanted, you know, so it's really important to us.
Well, good. We're excited to follow you along the road to the dome. We really hope that Peninsula gets in and possibly even a Fish Basket round 4.
That'd be crazy.
Well, Belle Frazier, senior captain of this Peninsula Seahawks, thanks for sitting down with us halftime here on KGHP. Best of luck with the second half of this game and beyond.
Thank you.
A great player and a great leader, Belle Frazier, has been just awesome to watch grow over the last few years, and we wish her the best going forward. Go ahead and follow us along on Twitter. Use that hashtag FishBasket. Coming up, we will have scoring recaps as well as keys to the second half. And, of course, everybody's favorite part, our Lunchbox Laboratory trivia question. We're about 4 minutes away from second half action. Teams coming back out on the court. You're listening to semifinal playoff basketball on KGHP FM. And, again, welcome back to Puyallup High School for Fish Basket Round 3. We're about 3 minutes away from second half. Again, the score, Gig Harbor Lady Tides lead the Lady Seahawks 28-23. But right now, it's time for your Lunchbox Laboratory trivia question. Go ahead and get ready to call 253-857-3589. Call the Walrus. Again, that's 253-857-3589. Your trivia question tonight for the grand prize of a $25 Lunchbox Laboratory gift card. What was the score of the last fish basket game? You got to get the winner and the final score. And go call the Walrus right now. Again, 253-857-3589. So 28-23. Kelly, who stood out so far here in the first half? So it sounds like the Tides have been doing a very good job to limit Peninsula to kind of a one-trick pony, just allowing Belle Fraser to score. Peninsula coming into this game with 3 top 20 scorers, according to Max Preps, in 3A Washington play. And we'll see what can happen here in the second half. 28-23 the score. Gig Harbor with the lead will have the ball to start. And before we get going, don't call the Walrus anymore. We already have a trivia winner. Rosemary from Arizona knew that the last score of the last fish basket game was 51-49 in favor of the Seahawks. Congratulations, Rosemary. You won a $25 gift card to Lunchbox Laboratory as we restart action here in the second half. Maxwell gets a pass from Grace Neal, puts up an awkward shot. I don't know how she got it to fall. That was an answered prayer right there. Brenda Maxwell sinks the and one, makes it an 8-point game, 31-23 Tides. Peninsula looking to get back in this. And tipped out of bounds by Langworthy. It'll be Peninsula basketball in front of their own student section. Peninsula going from left to right here in the second half. They're in all white. Inbound pass goes to Belle Fraser, who's immediately double-teamed to the far corner. Picks up her dribble, gets it back up top to Piper Bauer. 15 to shoot for the Hawks. Now over to the near corner to Lavrovich. She works left, gets it back out to Bauer. She dribbles left, gives it over to Fraser up top. 8 to shoot. Pulls up, elbow the free throw line. Belle Fraser rattles it home. 31-25. Edwards gets past Lavrovich, works to the elbow of the free throw line, dishes over to Grace Neal, back outside the perimeter to Edwards. She drives left in the paint, kicks it out to Tate McReynolds, has it poked away, drives herself, puts up a shot, trying to get around Taryn Richter, but no dice. And the Seahawks on transition. Lavrovich with a wide open look from the near corner, good for 3. 3-point game again. 31-28 Tides. They're looking to extend this lead. McReynolds gets the ball from Maxwell up top. McReynolds drives left on Papulus, puts up an awkward shot, but she travels with it first. Turnover. It'll be Peninsula basketball. Piper Bauer walking the ball up court. Gets it over to Papulus on the far side. Back over to Piper Bauer. Back over to Papulus on the far side. Gets it over to Belle Frazier in front of the Peninsula students. We're tied up at 35. Timeout, Coach Murray and the Tides. Their first time out of the game. Peninsula student section coming alive after this 8-3 run for the Hawks to open up the second half. And some trivia on the trivia winner. Rosemary from Arizona also happens to be Coach Mike Schick's mom. So welcome, Rosemary. Glad you're able to join us here on KGHP for this exciting Fish Basket Round 3. The hashtag 3-piece Fish Basket. Thank you to a former News Tribune writer for helping us out with that hashtag. McReynolds to take it up for Gig Harbor, crosses the half-court line, met by Frazier at the perimeter. Picks it up, gives it over to Lavrovich on the near side. The correction, Langworthy. Now over to Edwards, drives in the paint, puts up a floater, no good, gets her own rebound, puts it up, no good. Into the hands of Belle Frazier. Seahawks have it, and an opportunity to get the lead. 31 all the score as Belle Frazier hounded, gets it over to Piper Bauer, who drains a three. McReynolds passes it up to Langworthy. Tides have it. They're down 3 now, 5.5 to go here in the third quarter. Langworthy crosses over Bauer, drives in the paint, gets tripped up. No foul. Last touch by Langworthy as she fell forward. It'll be Peninsula basketball, 5:33 to go in the third. Papulus dishes it into Taryn Richter, and Papulus gets it again, steps left and drains a three. Seahawks with a 6-point lead. This is a 14-3 run for the Hawks and stolen away by Frazier into the hands of Lavrovich. She picks it up, gives it back up top to Bauer. Back over to Lavrovich on the far side, drives baseline, gets stuffed by Grace Neal on a jump ball as Neal, Maxwell, and Lavrovich all had it. Possession arrow points to Peninsula. They'll retain possession, 19 seconds left on the shot clock. They're up 6 after being down by 5 at the half. Ball inbounded to Belle Frazier, gets it back into Lavrovich, and she's double teamed, puts up a shot, just misses. Rebound Megan Edwards. She takes it up herself, pulls up at the top of the arc, gives it over to McReynolds on the near side. Maxwell double team, finds McReynolds in the paint, puts it up off the left hand and in. Finger roll from McReynolds makes it 37-33 now. Peninsula with the 4-point lead and the ball. Belle Frazier gets a screen from Richter. Works her way to the corner. Baseline, steps by Grace Neal, puts up a shot, no good, gets her own rebound. Fighting for it with Grace Neal, and that'll be a jump ball. Peninsula fans wanting a foul. Megan Edwards takes it up for Gig Harbor. She's met by Lavrovich. Crosses over, backs out, works around the perimeter, tries to feed it into Lavrovich, but scooping it up is Maxwell, who puts it up off the glass and in. 2-point game. Peninsula leads 37-35 with 4 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They have the ball. Over to the far corner to Lavrovich, back over to the far wing to Papulus, and working around now to Belle Frazier, steps back and just misses the three from almost the boundary line. And trying to find McReynolds was Abby Emery, but it goes off her knee, out of bounds. It'll be Peninsula basketball. 3:49 to go here in the third. Peninsula looking to extend this 2-point lead as Lavrovich inbounds to Bauer, gives it back over to Lavrovich in the near corner for a deep 2-pointer. Makes it a 4-point game. Pass from Edwards deflected by Lavrovich, out of bounds though. It'll be Gig Harbor basketball. Peninsula with all the momentum, it seems like. As Maxwell takes it, guarded by Papulus up top. Double team, gets it into Megan Edwards, drives in the paint, puts it up, no good. But a late whistle and a foul called, and Megan Edwards will go to the line to shoot two. Megan Edwards to the line for the Tides. Sinks the first free throw. Makes it a three-point ball game. Kara McKinney checking in for Taryn Richter. 2 team fouls for Peninsula here in the second half so far. 3:31 left to go in the third. Megan Edwards at the line for her second. And in and out, poked up, but into the hands of Belle Frazier for the Seahawks. 39-36. Belle Frazier looking to extend this Seahawk lead. She drives right, picks up her dribble outside the perimeter, gives it over to Bauer, works it back up top, guarded by Langworthy. Absolutely hounded by Langworthy. And finally a call. You know, that's been a good matchup to watch all series long. Langworthy on Bauer, one of the best ball handlers and one of the best defenders. It's good to see them getting some matches. As Belle Frazier's shot, no good, but poked out of bounds. Last touch by Maxwell. It'll be Peninsula basketball baseline with 3:07 to go here in the third. Timeout, Coach Schick. It'll be a full timeout. And what a momentum swing. Peninsula starting the second half with a 16-8 run. .307 to go here in the third. Peninsula to inbound at the baseline. They have a 39-36 lead. And let us know where you're listening from, who you're listening for, and what you think tonight's final score is going to be. Use that hashtag FishBasket on Twitter. And also, if you use the hashtag FishBasket, you might as well tag John Manley of the Peninsula Gateway in it. Let him know what you think of the Fish Basket. John, Jon. Let him know you want him to use hashtag FishBasket in his next article. Again, winner of this game goes to the West Central District Championship game against Bethel. Both teams already punched their way to the state tournament, but we'll wait to see what the RPI standings say and what each team's Tacoma Dome chances are. As we're ready to go, Papulus to inbound and floats it up to Piper Bauer up top. Back over to the near side to Papulus. She's guarded by Tate McReynolds. Feeds it into Belle Frazier, weaves her way through 2 Tides defenders, puts up a shot, no good, gets her a rebound, second effort, no good, and pulled down by Brenna Maxwell. Elbows a flying. Megan Edwards gets it up across half court, picks up her dribble, and a foul. Correction, a timeout taken by Coach Megan Murray as Megan Edwards was double teamed and there was almost no hope. 2:44 on the clock here in the third quarter. Tides with the basketball. We're already getting calls for hashtag FishBasket to appear on the Gateway front page. So we see you, John Manley. As we're ready to restart action, Brenna Maxwell up top for the Tides. 2:35 left here in the third quarter. Tides looking to chip into this Peninsula 3-point lead. Ball threaded into Tate McReynolds, but Belle Frazier there with the hand of justice. 5 seconds left on the shot clock for Gig Harbor. Inbound goes to Abby Emery up top to Megan Edwards. Into Brenna Maxwell, whose shot hits the rim, but no good. And into the hands of Peninsula. Belle Frazier jogs it up, met by Brenna Maxwell at half court. The 2 Division I signees face up as Frazier drives left, and the Portland State signee finishes the drive with 2 points. 41-36 the score. 2 minutes to go here in the third. Tides trail by 5. They have the ball. Megan Edwards drives baseline, shot no good, heavily contested by Lavrovich. Papulus racing the ball up court. And a foul from Langworthy. That'll be her third personal foul. Second team foul, correction, for the Tides. Peninsula will have it to inbound on the far side in front of the Peninsula students. Again, a good job from the Peninsula students representing, really helping change the culture of girls basketball here in the Peninsula School District. Inbound goes to Lavrovich, now to the near side to Piper Bauer. Bauer has it poked away by Edwards, recontrols it, gives it over to Lavrovich, wide open in the corner for three, it's good! 44-36 the score. Peninsula with an 8-point lead, stolen away by Bauer, but a foul immediately by Edwards. That'll be the third team foul on Gig Harbor as Brenna Maxwell corrals her team and says, hey, Gig Harbor, we got to settle down here.
Checking in for the Phoenix number 3, Renee Doss.
Third personal foul on Edwards, substitution for the Hawks. Papulus coming out. She's replaced by Doss, who has the ball in the backcourt. Up to Lavrovich, 1:22 left here in this third quarter. Poked away by Langworthy into the hands of Megan Edwards. Tides with an opportunity to chip into this 8-point deficit. Long up court pass from Maxwell sails over both Emery and McReynolds. Trying to create some space from backcourt, but unfortunately unable to do so for Gig Harbor. It goes out of bounds. It'll be Peninsula basketball. Lavrovich drives left, gets by two defenders. A very late whistle sends Lavrovich to the line to make this a potentially double-digit lead for the first time this year. First shot up, no good from Lavrovich. That foul was going to be on Abby Emery, her second personal. 14 foul for Gig Harbor as Piper Bauer takes a seat, replaced by Fabulous Papulus. Lavrovich, second shot also no good, pulled down by McReynolds for Gig Harbor. Edwards with it, races by Lavrovich, gets it over to McReynolds on the far side. She's met by Belle Frazier, works it up top, picks up her dribble, looks left, looks right, finds Edwards. Edwards weaving her way through traffic, putting up a shot, but getting absolutely stuffed by Frazier. And Tides regain possession, 10 to shoot. Maxwell gets a screen from Abby Emery, pulls up from three land, no good. Pulled down by Lavrovich and the Seahawks. Lavrovich quickly taking it up over to Doss in the far corner. Up top now to Frazier, 26 to go. 4 seconds between the shot clock and play clock. Frazier gets a screen from McKinney up top, pulls up at the elbow at the free throw line. Long cross-court pass to Lavrovich on the far side for three, no good. And saved from going out of bounds by Kara McKinney, but into the hands of Brenna Maxwell, 10 to shoot in the quarter. Maxwell puts it up, gets swatted by Belle Frazier, 4 to shoot here in the third quarter as Belle Frazier pulls up from beyond the arc, and she makes the buzzer beater! Belle Frazier hits the buzzer beater, and they just more than doubled their score in the third quarter. We'll take a break here before the start of the fourth quarter here at Puyallup High School. You're listening to Playoff Basketball on KGHP FM. Lavrovich takes it up, gets a screen from McKinney. Over to Belle Frazier on the near side, guarded by Maxwell. Drives baseline one-on-one, kicks it out to Lavrovich, guarded by Langworthy. Poked away, now into the hands of Papulus up top. Papulus drives right, loses the handle on it, bumps into Emery's shot, no good, and into the hands of Brenna Maxwell. Maxwell and the Tides a mountain to climb, an 11-point deficit here in the fourth quarter. Tate McReynolds on the far side. Works her way around up top, over to Sydney Langworthy in the near side, gets a screen from Emery, goes left, pulls up from three, in and out. and pulled down by Renee Doss for the Seahawks, but poked away by Brenna Maxwell, trying to save it from going out of bounds, but it hits the purple here at Puyallup High School, and it'll be Seahawk basketball. 47-36 the score. Seahawks lead and looking to pad on to this double-digit lead. Doss gives it over to McKinney. She drives right and can't get the ball to drop. It hit the rim about 5 times. And rebound goes to Gig Harbor. McReynolds gets it up to Megan Edwards. And she races the ball across the half-court line over to Langworthy on the far side. She has some space, almost looks at a three, and decides to drive in the paint herself, but gets met by Kara McKinney. Shot no good. Into the hands of Renee Doss for the Seahawks. Under 7 minutes to go in regulation. Lavrovich in the near corner. Gives it back out, eventually up top to Belle Frazier. Lets Mike Schick call a play here with 16 to shoot. Doss up top now to Papulus. Gives it over to McKinney on the far side, 9 to shoot. Doss in the far corner. Tries to cross over McReynolds. Eventually dishes it back up to Papulus. Drives in the paint. Puts up a shot deflected by Maxwell into the hands of a driving Belle Frazier, who's there to put it in at the buzzer. Tay McReynolds gives it up to Brennan Maxwell up top. Now over to Megan Edwards on the near side. Works it back up top over to Emery in front of the Tides bench. Now to Tate McReynolds. She drives and puts it up over a swatting Belle Frazier. Cuts the deficit back to 11. 49-38 the score. Peninsula with the lead and the ball. Over to the near side to McKinney. She's guarded by Abby Emery and a foul. It's going to be Emery's third personal foul. 15th foul for Gig Harbor as Peninsula subs in Piper Bauer for Renee Doss. 5:48 to go. Winner of this game goes to the West Central District Championship, where they'll play Bethel tomorrow at noon. Belle Frazier versus Britta Maxwell. Frazier drives left, steps back, gets deflected by Maxwell. And McKinney scrambling for the rebound, gets it, but eventually into the hands of Sydney Langworthy, who takes it up for the Tides, waits for her team to get back over to Megan Edwards, pulls up for a quick three and nails it. Correction, it's going to be a 2. 49-40 the score, 9-point game. Just under 5.5 to play here in Fish Basket round 3. Football pass to Lindsay Lavrovich on a fade route. And she works it up, gives it over to Piper Bauer, guarded by McReynolds. Down to Lavrovich in the near corner. Lavrovich cuts left, drives, tries to get past Langworthy, dishes it over to McKinney, drives, has it stripped away into the hands of Belle Frazier, who tries to push it, or put up a shot, but a foul on the court. It'll be Peninsula basketball, 5:12 left in the fourth. Peninsula with a 9-point lead. Grace Neal checks in for Gig Harbor. She replaces Emery with 3 fouls. Inbounded to Belle Frazier. She's guarded by Maxwell. Has it poked away by McReynolds in a fight for it. Grace Neal sitting down on the floor, but also holding onto the ball was Karen McKinney and Belle Frazier. Possession arrow points to Gig Harbor. 5:05 to go here in regulation. Tides looking to chip into this 9-point Peninsula lead. Edwards gives it up to McReynolds on the near side. Works it up top. Picks up her dribble. Nobody collapsing on her. Feeds it into Grace Neal. Neal backing down McKinney, picks up her dribble, gives it over to Maxwell, 14 to shoot. Maxwell drives right, met by Belle Frazier, gives it out to Megan Edwards, wide open for a deep 2. Correction, it's a 3-pointer. We got a 6-point game. Frazier races past Maxwell, Euro step, puts it up, no good, just short. Fight for it, and Piper Bauer saves it for going out of bounds, but gives it over to Megan Edwards for the Tides. 4.5 to go here in the game. Maxwell works it up on Papulus, gets the ball across half court. Maxwell drives right, finds McReynolds with some space, but just mishandles the ball as she feeds it into Grace Neal, puts up a shot. Lots of contact, but ball only, the referees say. And Belle Frazier with a steal. And a timeout, Peninsula, 49-43. 4:06 left here in the fourth quarter. Man, if you're not here or if you're not listening to this game, you're doing it wrong. Your quality of life is significantly less than if you were listening to this game right now.
Once again, the winner of this game will take on Bethel tomorrow afternoon at 12:00.
Again, if you're following along on Twitter, use the hashtag FishBasket. Let us know where you're listening from, who you're listening for. And I guess it's a little too late. You kind of have a little too much of an advantage for final score, but let us know what you're looking forward to in the playoffs, whether it's Tacoma Dome, whether it's winning a game at the Tacoma Dome, or maybe repeating state championship, or even a first state championship in this millennium. Teams come back on the court. 4:06 to go on the court for the Hawks. Bauer, Lavrovich, Papulus, Frazier, and McKinney for the Tides. Langworthy, McReynolds, Maxwell, Edwards, and Neal. 6-point game. Hawks with the lead and the ball. Piper Bauer walks it across, stares down Tate McReynolds. Or to the far side to Papulus. Now into Lavrovich, met by Langworthy at the perimeter. Gives it over to the near corner to Frazier. Tries to drive baseline on Brennan Maxwell. Eventually around the horn. Piper Bauer pulls up for three. No good. Pulled down by Maxwell. Poked out of bounds. The referee said Brennan Maxwell touched it last. The Peninsula basketball again. 3:40 to go. Protecting that 6-point lead. Ball inbounded to Piper Bauer. Bauer with those neon yellow shoes. Pushes it into McKinney, give and go. Piper Bauer recontrolling into the corner. Gives it up to Belle Frazier with 15 to shoot. Pulls up over Brenna Maxwell for three. Belle Frazier have a game. 52-43. Tides looking to cut into this 9-point lead now. Deep two for Megan Edwards, in and out. Rebound Maxwell. And she works it back out around the perimeter. Fresh shot clock for the Tides. Just over 3 minutes to go. Maxwell pulls up from distance and banks it home for threes. 52-46. Don't hurt yourself. 52-46. The score, 3:01 to go. Oh, my goodness. I'm going to be on a plane down to Mexico, going on a mission trip with about 100 other high schoolers. Yeah, it's going to be fun. Yes. Yeah, I definitely need a reliever after tonight. Might need a cough drop. Somebody get me a cough drop. Halls, if you're listening, come on, man. Give me the sponsorship already. 3:01 to go, 6-point game. Peninsula with the lead. In Fish Basket round 3. Gig Harbor won back on January 9th. Peninsula won for the first time in the seniors' careers back on January 31st. That would be something. Fish Basket round 4, a very realistic possibility. As Lavrovich takes it up, crosses over Lindsay Lavrovich, gets it out to Bauer. Bauer drives in the lane, met by Grace Neal. Lots of contact. Eventually out to Belle Frazier, puts up a shot but gets fouled from behind. Looks like that's going to be on Brenna Maxwell. And it is. Second personal foul on Maxwell. 7th team foul for Gig Harbor. Peninsula only with 2 team fouls. That sends Belle Frazier to the line with a 6-point lead and 2:47 left here in the 4th. First shot good. Frazier looking to extend the 7-point lead now. 53-46. Second shot up and no good. Rebound, Brenna Maxwell. Maxwell immediately double teamed to the backcourt. And a collision, bodies flying everywhere. Brenna Maxwell pulls up for 3, no good. Long rebound, Papulus. Now into the hands of Frazier. 2:34 left in the 4th. Frazier looking for Coach Schick, who sets up the offense. Ball poked out of bounds by Maxwell. Belle Frazier to inbound just in front of the Peninsula bench. 21 left on the shot clock for the Hawks. Inbound goes to Esther Papulus. And a foul by Megan Edwards. Not a whole lot of contact, but the referee must have seen something down there. It'll send Peninsula to the line for a 1-and-1. Esther Papulus. Esther Papulus to the line for Peninsula, shooting a 1-and-1, trying to extend this 53-46 lead. First shot, no good. Rebound, Tate McReynolds for the Tides. McReynolds double team, gets it over to Maxwell, guarded by Papulus in the backcourt. Passes it up to Tate McReynolds across the half-court line. 2:15 left here in the fourth quarter. Tides needing to cut into this 7-point lead quick. And trying to find Grace Neal with Sydney Langworthy, but right there was Belle Frazier. Frazier works past Maxwell. Gets it back out around the perimeter. 2 minutes left. 7-point lead for the Hawks. Over now to the near side to Lovrovich. Lovrovich spins around Langworthy. Can't shake her. Picks up her dribble, but a foul. A little bit of frustration there from Langworthy. Lovrovich to the line for a 1-and-1. First shot, no good again. Peninsula not able to capitalize on these 1-and-1s, but a jump ball is Kara McKinney right there. Tate McReynolds screaming for a foul. But a jump, and one referee says jump ball, one referee says foul. And it's going to be a foul on Kara McKinney. So Tate McReynolds in the right there. She'll inbound. 3 team fouls for Peninsula. Second personal on McKinney. Inbound pass goes up to Grace Neal. She'll take it across the half-court line for Gig Harbor. Up top to Tate McReynolds. She drives left. Tries to feed it in and does. An awkward shot, highly contested from Belle Frazier. But Tate McReynolds finds the bottom of the net, makes it a 5-point game. 1:30 to go. Frazier walks the ball up the court. Waits for the offense to set up. Taking 12 seconds in the backcourt. Finally gets it up, gets a screen from McKinney. Drives right, met by Grace Neal and Sydney Langworthy. Tries to put up a shot, rejected by Maxwell. It'll go out of bounds. Peninsula basketball, 10 on the shot clock. 1:17 left on the game clock. Peninsula looking to extend this 5-point lead. Inbound pass goes to Frazier. Guarded by Maxwell. Walks the baseline and out of bounds. 1:13 left in the game. 5-point separates these teams. Renee Doss checks in for Piper Bauer. As Tate McReynolds inbounding for the Tides. Inbound gets to Maxwell, gets a screen from Grace Neal in the backcourt. Maxwell feeds it over to Megan Edwards, pulls up for 3, good! 2-point game, over a minute to go. Quick release, Megan Edwards cuts the lead to 2. Belle Frazier walking the ball up, met by Brenna Maxwell at the half-court line. Frazier trying to cross over Maxwell, loses the handle on it, gets a screen from Doss. And Maxwell going to the ground, a foul on Doss's screen. It'll be Gig Harbor basketball. 46 seconds to go. The assistant coach for Peninsula getting Doss composed again. Doss very confused, and it wasn't a foul, it was off or out of bounds. 46 seconds left. Gig Harbor will have the basketball. Two-point game. Coach Schick talking to the Seahawks. Coach Murray drawing up a play for the Tides. Man, if you know someone that even likes sports, make them watch this game. Hold them down. Turn on KGHP FM or KGHP.org. They will want to hear the final 46 seconds of this one. 2-point game. Maxwell to inbound in front of the Peninsula bench for the Tides. Gets it into Megan Edwards. Edwards takes it across the logo here at half court at Puyallup. Stolen away by Belle Frazier. loses the handle on it. Megan Edwards gets it right back over to Grace Neal. 35 seconds left in the game. Maxwell takes it up top, met by Frazier. Maxwell crosses over, pulls up from three. No good. Pulled down by Frazier. Immediately fouled by Grace Neal. Belle Frazier to the line for a 1-and-1. Correction, that's the 10th team foul for Gig Harbor. There'll be 2 upcoming for Belle Frazier. 24 seconds left. Second personal foul on Grace Neal. 10th team foul on the Tides. Peninsula now in the double bonus. Belle Frazier at the line to extend this 2-point lead. First shot, no good. A little bit of confusion there, as some of the players thought it was a 1-and-1. Frazier gets the ball 53-51. As Frazier's second shot up and rattles in. 3-point game. Timeout, Gig Harbor. (54-51). Last timeout taken by the Tides. No timeouts left for the Tides. 1 left for the Hawks. 24 seconds left. Gig Harbor will inbound after the timeout. And, man, Edwards has hit a couple threes tonight. Brenna Maxwell, your all-time leading scorer. It would also be a solid shot, but you got to think that Belle Frazier is going to be on her like glue.
All right, give up the ball with 24 seconds left to go. Down 3.
Best friends off the court, mortal enemies on the court. Tides to inbound. Megan Edwards taking it up. Seahawks backing off a little bit here as Edwards gets it over to Maxwell on the far side. Back over to Edwards. 14 to shoot. Stolen away by Belle Frazier. And a foul from Tate McReynolds. 9 seconds left. Belle Frazier with an opportunity to ice this one with a 3-point lead with 9 seconds left in regulation.
Frazier will get on the line and shoot 2.
Belle Frazier's first shot, no good. The drama. 3-point lead. Belle Frazier with an opportunity to make it a 4-point lead. Second shot up and no good. Rebound, Gig Harbor. Megan Edwards pushes it up, gives it over to Maxwell. 5 to shoot, puts up a shot. Deflected by Belle Frazier. Renee Doss with the ball. And she gets fouled by Grace Neal. Renee Doss at the line to try to ice this one. We'll see if she can do it. 54-51, Peninsula leads. And the most important free throw upcoming for Peninsula is good. 3 seconds remain. 4-point lead now for the Hawks. Doss' second shot up and good as well. McReynolds inbounds for Gig Harbor up to Megan Edwards. Heaves it from up half court. No good. The Seahawks win. Fish basket round 3. They rush the court. The Seahawks are headed to the West Central District Championship match against Bethel. That game tomorrow at noon. And stick around. We hope to snag Coach Schick's attention after the students rush the court. And we'll see. Coach Schick calling for a team picture. It doesn't look like we'll get a post-game interview today, at least. Potentially tomorrow.
Peninsula will be here tomorrow afternoon. That game will be a 12-point game. It'll be Gig Harbor and Bethel for the district championship.
Final score in hashtag three-piece fish basket round 3, 56-51. Peninsula walking away with the win. They'll play in the district championship tomorrow at noon against Bethel. And let's try to explain this state tournament bracket. It's not a usual bracket. It's a 16-team bracket with an extra round in it. So what's going to happen is the teams that qualify from their district tournaments will go to the state tournament. Now, the first round of the state tournament is not played at the Tacoma Dome. The top 8 RPI-ranked teams play each other for a first-round bye in the Tacoma Dome, while the bottom 8 seeds in the top 16 teams ranked in order, the bottom 8 seeds will play just to get to the Tacoma Dome. But we will see what is in store and probably in the next week how that all shapes out. But tomorrow, looking ahead again at noon, Peninsula in the championship here at the West Central District. They play Bethel at noon, and then at 3:30, again a doubleheader. Gig Harbor will take on RPI ranked number 1 Prairie. That'll be at Rogers High School at 3:30 right here on KGHP. Alongside Kelly Busey, I'm Chance Busey. Thanks for listening here on KGHP FM. We're going to throw it back to the Walrus here in the studio. Did he remember?
You'll be here, Rogers, tomorrow.
Huh? I'm going on a Mexico mission trip.
Oh, all right. Well,
Yeah.
safe travels, man.
Yeah. We'll be here and Rogers.
Oh.
He'll be doing it.
Gotcha.
So, yeah. Good to see you.
Yeah, likewise, brother.
I'm digging the sweater vest, man. Digging the sweater vest. It looks good.